Tell us what racism means to you.
Racism just means the unjust discrimination based on color without any legitimate reason.
Racism means to me that people are judged differently based on the color of their skin. Racism is people looking at the exterior and your skin color instead of thinking about how we're all the same inside. Racism means to me that people of a certain race or ethnic background are being discriminated against in everyday life.
Racism is looking at people's differences instead of looking at as everyone is equal and believing that some people are not equal to others.
To me, racism is when you sort of block out others' ideas or keep them from being able to speak for themselves or present what they want to say based on something like their race. So pretty much what you're doing is because of some prejudices you might have about them and their heritage or their race, you're sort of blocking out what they might be saying and not getting the real meaning from it that you should.
So racism for me means different people from same school, same place, same community, but they cannot be treated equally.
Racism means to me treating another person unequally.
Racism, as defined by Webster Dictionary, is a belief that race is the primary determinant of human traits and capacities, and that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race. The problem of racism dates back to the beginning of the country when blacks and immigrants were primarily slaves. On September 22nd, soon after the Union victory at Antietam, Abraham Lincoln issued a preliminary Emancipation Proclamation, declaring that as of January 1st, 1863, all slaves in the rebellious states shall thenceforth and forever be free. Although the Emancipation Proclamation did not free a single slave because it did not apply to those states that were not a part of the Union, it was a turning point in the country. Fast forward a century, in 1963, the Civil Rights Movement was at its peak. In this year, Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his famous I Have a Dream speech, in which he saw out equality for everyone regardless of color.
The groups affected are those who are not of the predominant race of their area or otherwise known as minority. Racism is an issue in our country and beyond, even though we have our laws making discrimination illegal and unjust. When the minority is in a room filled with the predominant race, they may struggle to have their voice be heard and thus feel less confident. They may also suffer from certain stereotypes because of their race that cause people to make assumptions.
In the end, racism is not an adult-only thing. It is very much alive in the youth as well. It affects their childhood and the way they grow up. Sometimes the world in which they live can be harsh and cruel. In Martin Luther King's famous I Have a Dream speech that I spoke about earlier, he says, "I have a dream that one day little black boys and girls will be holding hands with little white boys and girls." This struck the hearts of many and evoked change for only a little while. Racism is seen in modern day as well.
In this graph, the racial wealth gap is displayed from 1984 to 2009. It demonstrates the widening wealth gap well after the Civil Rights era. The gap as of 2009 has tripled to almost $237,000 between the salary of a white family and the salary of a black family. This wealth gap is an example of racism in action. This income difference could be a demonstration of racism in the workplace and unequal opportunity.
So how can we make a change or make a difference? It is imperative that we spread awareness to this issue. By making our social media platforms more accepting, we promote diversity. Additionally, we need to make the voices of minorities heard so that their needs may be better received. The Black Lives Matter movement is a modern solution of this issue.
Your race doesn't define you.